Well, in this morning's Health Watch, Steve, July marks Fibroid Awareness Month, calling attention to this issue that impacts up to 80% of women. I'm joined by Coach Ella Destiny today to teach us how to be our own best health advocates and to just learn how to have the conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So glad you came in. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, for people that aren't familiar, let's talk a little bit about what fibroids are.
Okay, so fibroids are non-benign tumors, non-cancerous tumors that sit on the uterus. They sit in different parts of the uterus, and they vary in size. It could be the size of a lemon, size of a watermelon. It could be size of a small seed. It just all depends on where they sit in your body.
And so what would be some of the symptoms someone might have?
You might have lower back pain, you might have fatigue, you might have anemia, painful sex, longer than normal menstrual cycles. All of those things are signs and symptoms of fibroids.
And so if you're experiencing that, you need to go to your OBGYN or at least a doctor and bring it up.
Absolutely. Ask questions, have conversations. A lot of times we don't know. They tell us, oh, that's normal, it'll go away, and that's not the case. You know, if you're experiencing, my cycles were like probably 20 days, 30 days or longer. I didn't know that that wasn't normal, and so I just went with it.
Right.
And so I started getting sick. I started getting tired all the time. They put me on iron pills, and it was just, oh, it's just, you know, it'll go away.
Yeah.
So make sure you're asking questions.
You know, it's interesting because, you know, I mean, when a woman starts menstruating or a young girl starts menstruating, unless you talk about it with your mom or your grandma or even your doctor or whatever, it's what you said. You just think this is how it is, and so this must be normal. There's no reason for you to think, because you have no frame of reference.
Absolutely.
So what happened then for you?
So for me, when I had my fibroids, they started getting worse. When I had my oldest son, they told me you have to have a blood transfusion or you're not going to make it through this delivery.
Wow.
After that, the fibroids got worse. I had a partial hysterectomy, and when they did my hysterectomy, they severed my intestines. And so I ended up spending a week on life support. I've had 11 abdominal surgeries. I don't have a navel anymore. I have no filling in my stomach, and I have a scar from hip to hip as if they cut me in half.
And when did all this happen for you?
This happened when my fibroid issue started when I was in my late teens, early 20s.
And then you ended up having the partial at what age?
I was 24.
24. So obviously, this is more than just a physical ailment. There has to be a mental health connection here.
Absolutely. So when I had my hysterectomy, I was married. I couldn't have any more children. And being completely transparent, my then husband had a kid with someone else. If that was the reason or not, I don't know. But mentally, I just felt like I wasn't a woman anymore. I felt like I wasn't whole. And when I started dating again, it was just like, you know, are you going to cheat on me? Are you going to have kids? I can't have any. Like, what are we going to do? And so mentally, it just really took a toll on me. Also, having all of the surgeries, you can't walk, you can't take care of yourself, people have to feed you, they have to do all of these things, and so it was really tough.
You know, it's interesting because I was talking with her ahead of time. My mom had fibroids and had to have a hysterectomy at a young age. I mean, and I was in college. I came home to help take care of her. So obviously she had her kids, but she had those same feelings, like I don't feel like a woman anymore.
Absolutely.
It's very common. So what's your goal here, and what are you doing in order to raise awareness?
So my goal is to make sure that women know that there are options out there, that you don't have to have a hysterectomy, and ask questions. My dad always said the dumbest question is the question not asked. So ask questions, ask a million questions. You know, if it's something that you're not sure of, ask someone else and have the conversations. A lot of times we talk about hair, we talk about relationships, we talk about clothing, but we don't talk about our cycles enough. We don't talk about, you know, I've been bleeding for 30 days. Is that normal? What are your cycles like? You know, what are you going through?
And so you have an event coming up.
So I am a part of USA Fibroid Centers, and we are having an event in New York. It's called 50 Shades of Purple. Fibroid Fighters is actually having the event, and USA Fibroid Centers is hosting it. Myself, Cynthia Bailey, Shay Johnson, Kimberly King, Eugenia Bowie, a lot of us, we travel the world bringing awareness so that ladies know that they have options. And USA Fibroid Centers, they specialize in a procedure called UFE, or uterine fibroid embolization, so you don't have to have a hysterectomy.
Right.
It's minimally invasive. The recovery time is way less, and, you know, you get back to life.
Well, you know what? You're doing good work. A lot of those names you mentioned are good friends to our show.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Ella, for coming in and for sharing your story.
Definitely.
And keep on keeping on.
Thank you so much.
You're helping a lot of women.
Thank you.
And there, if you want more information, please check out Ella's, all her social sites there, because she can help get you the help that you might need. You might even know you need it.
Absolutely.